The present simple tense is the most used tense. It seems very easy to form. It often leaves out the auxiliary verb and the main verb stays in its base form. However, the present simple is deceptively simple. It actually has some of the biggest exceptions to the rules. And if you use the simple tenses as your guide to how tenses work because they're popular, then all other tenses will seem more chaotic. Let's look at some examples. I walk to work. You drink tea every morning. My car always breaks. My leg hurts when it's cold. He lives in Oxford. The moon orbits the Earth. There are a few ways that we use the present simple tense. The first two examples here are talking about habits. The second two are talking about repeated actions. And the last two are for general truths that never change. When the type of action is simple, we're not saying anything about when the action starts or finishes. So we use it to talk about things that happen regularly or are always true. The form is very simple. We have the subject, I, you, he, she, or it could be the name of the person or the thing, like my car. Then we have the main verb in its base form, work, drink, break, hurt, live or orbit. The only time we change the form of the main verb in the present simple tense is when we're talking in the third person. When we are talking about someone or something that is not the person we're talking to. We call this the third person S form. I walk, you drink, he lives. My car breaks. My leg hurts. The moon orbits. In a recent video, I talked about how auxiliary verbs are the most important thing to understand tense. Let me show you what I mean. Sentences can come in three forms: positive, negative, and as questions. And we'd normally always have an auxiliary verb. To make a positive sentence, we normally have the subject, then the auxiliary verb, and then the main verb. If these examples were present continuous, we would say, I am walking to work. You are drinking tea. My car is always breaking. Using the auxiliary verb is the normal structure. It's the same with the perfect tense. We say, I have walked to work. You have drunk tea. My car has broken. So you can see that it's actually the present simple tense that's irregular, not the other tenses. They are all consistent. And it's not that with the present simple tense we don't use the auxiliary verb. I like to think of it that it is there, we just don't need to say it. But you can say it if you want. We do this when we want to be more emphatic. So you could say, I do walk to work. You do drink tea every morning. My car does always break. My leg does hurt when it's cold. He does live in Oxford. The moon does orbit the Earth. Notice how when we do have an auxiliary verb, the third person S form goes on the auxiliary verb instead of on the main verb. We say, he does live in Oxford, not he do lives. No. So this is how we use the present simple tense with positive sentences. But what about with negative sentences and questions? Well, these forms are easier because they do follow the normal structure with auxiliary verbs, consistent with all other tenses. To make a negative sentence, we have the subject, the auxiliary verb, then the word not, then the main verb. I do not walk to work. You do not drink tea every morning. My car does not always break. My leg does not hurt when it's cold. He does not live in Oxford. The moon does not orbit the earth. In English, because we use auxiliary verbs so much, we often contract them. So we're more likely to actually say, I don't walk to work. You don't drink tea every morning. My car doesn't always break. My leg doesn't hurt when it's cold. He doesn't live in Oxford. The moon doesn't orbit the earth. For questions, we simply swap the subject and auxiliary verb and add a question mark. Do I walk to work? Do you drink tea every morning? Does my car always break? Does my leg hurt when it's cold? Does he live in Oxford? Does the moon orbit the earth? So, in summary, the present simple tense is the most commonly used tense in English, and it's easy to form. However, it has some exceptions to the rules, and it can be misleading. We use it to talk about habits, repeated actions, general truths, and unchanging situations. The simple tenses are the most common, but they are not the normal in English. Auxiliary verbs are actually the most important part for understanding tense. This is still true with the present simple. The only difference is that the auxiliary verb can be implied when the sentence is positive. So you don't need to say it, but you can use it for more emphasis. So let's end with an exercise. In the comments section, write down 5 things that you do every day. For example, wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, go to school or work or come home. Then write 5 truths about the world. For example, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Plants need sunlight to grow. And finally, write 5 sentences about your hobbies or interests using the present simple tense. For example, I enjoy playing football. I read books every night before bed. I listen to music before work. Make sure you think about whether you need the auxiliary verb and try to use contractions where appropriate. If you want more help improving your English, then head on over to patreon.com/learnenglish, or you can use the card in the corner or the link in the description. There you'll find a PDF worksheet for this lesson that you can download and another video that goes with that worksheet. There are also loads of other videos, the chance to have one-on-one classes with me and to ask questions that I'll answer in a personalised video for you, and loads of other benefits. Right now, you can still be one of the first people to join the English Language Club on Patreon, which means that you'll get all the learner benefits for just £2 a month. But be quick, because this price will be going up. But if you join now, you'll lock in this price permanently. So even when everyone else has to pay more, you'll still get that bargain price as a thank you for helping me get things started. This really is an amazing offer because there will be so much value there for English learners. So tell your friends, and I look forward to meeting you soon.